Yeah, so yesterday we stopped at aggregation, and what we are trying to achieve by using aggregation was let me open it. So we're trying to um, do this aggregation, get average, get the highest, and get the lowest. Okay, so um, so before I continue, I also want to touch the concept of aggregation. I think I should stop close my turn off my camera so that those that are having network problems can. Yeah. So before we start aggregation, I would also want to discuss the foundation of aggregation. So we see how aggregation works, and I think I discussed that aggregation basically, or they call them aggregate functions. Um, uh, I mentioned some, no, sorry, I mentioned count, I mentioned min max, minimum, maximum, average. What else? Who can remind me? So excuse me. I think there's also standard deviation. Um, and I think there's also mean. Yeah, if I remember correctly. Mean is actually average, right? So that's yeah. So in Microsoft Excel, inclusive is sum, standard deviation, and so on. So if I go to let me see, let me just do a pivot of this. It's not going to make any difference, but I'm just going to do a pivot of this. And if I come to value field settings, sorry, so you can see the aggregation they have in um, Microsoft Excel. So you have the sum, count, average, mean, max, product, count numbers, standard deviation, variance, and this other stuff that I don't know. Um, sorry, I don't know everything. So yeah, so basically it works the same thing with SQL. Now for the most cases we use, I think mostly just these four. I believe there are some other aggregate functions that they have, but yeah, just that. Now I sorry, excuse me. Let me see if I have a table I can actually use for aggregation. Sorry, just hold on. Oh, this is wasted. See, did I import this already? Let me see. Let me see what is inside here. Oh, cool. Oh, dear. Okay, okay. So, yeah, I think we have this data. Again, don't worry about it. Remember what we are trying to do. So, yeah, I have a data set with name, age, gender, blood type, medical condition, date of admission, doctor, hospital, insurance, and billing. And so basically I have billing amount, which is a number I can actually use. So if I want to get sorry about that, let me close my on my WhatsApp. So if I want to get so how much has been billed so far, like total billing amount has been billed so far, right? What I can do is to say this is what I'm going to do. Now I have my select and from again. Okay, so one other thing I also want to mention, aside the fact that um, if I say use, so I'll say use healthcare, which is the database that this is in, this table is in. Sorry, Control Z, highlight and run. I could do select all the columns from. So basically, this you see here is the database name. And so you can say database name dot table. So basically you say select column, all the columns from database name dot table, table name. And so you can actually run your SQL like this and it's fine. So which is what you are seeing here, right? One of the reasons why we do this is in case so excuse me. So let's say now the thing is if I run select all from, remember student is a table in RMS, right? Database. If I run it like this, what is going to happen? An error. Why is that? This is not the current database I'm working on. RMS is not the current, and so I have not specified. So, but what I can do is say RMS dot student. And what happens? If I do that and I run it, even though it's not the active database, it gives me a result. Why? I'm calling the name of the database before the table. Now, the first instance that I did was, after all, the current active database is not even the RMS database, right? Because it's not bold. This is what is bold. So this is what is active. So even if I run this query, it's not going to work. It's going to show me an error. But if I then say RMS, I'm calling the name of database, then plus the name of the table, it will definitely run for me. You get. So again, I needed to just say this out. So you guys are allowed to write a syntax like this. Yeah. You are wondering how I did. So some of the tricks I can show you guys is, so I wanted to comment on this. Ordinarily, I would have said I'll use a single line comment, which is this like this, and I'll do for everything, or I would say the multiple line comment, which is something like this. But if you notice, I just highlighted everything and did it one time, right? Without you seeing how I did that. So I learned this using a particular text editor. If I do control /, it will just help me comment everything. Just sticking it out there. And so it works for a VS Code, which is a text editor. And I also think Anaconda as well, for those who are using Anaconda for Python stuff. So excuse me. So yeah. Now, if I then want to do a calculation of the total billing amount so far in this particular database, right? That's what I want to do. So I want to check the total. The idea is to check the total billing amount, right? So how do I do that? What I can do is to say, I want to, it means that I'm focused on the billing amount column, right? So healthcare underscore DB. So billing amount. This is what I'm focused on. Now, if I do, so what I'm just trying to do is to isolate this. I'm running it, and this is total billing amount. Now, if I want to do a cumulative sum of these, all I just need to do is just to use the sum function, or the so the sum function. And when I do that, because I'm using the sum function, the header, the column header that is going to come is going to be weird. Now, if I do Control Shift, actually use Control, I think it's Control Shift Enter. Yeah, so I use Control Enter for this. Now, what is going to happen is you can see that the sum amount is basically just showing me this as the header. So therefore, I can use an alias. I would say as total billing amount. I think we already know this. And I can run it. Then the next thing I'm noticing is I have some dots here that is so much that it's just driving me crazy. So what I can then do is to say, I'll use a round. a round function just to round it. And round will take a value you want to round, then the number of decimals. So maybe I want to round it to 2 decimals. I'll just put 2 and I'll run it. And you can then see I have this. Now, I also have a problem is I want to read these things in thousands, right? I think there's a function called format. Control then, so I think I'll just type format. I don't know if it exists here. Oh, it does exist here. And it's going to take what I want to format it, what I want to format, which is everything here. Then it's going to take, if I remember correctly, n0 is for thousands. For is it me putting that thousand after every 3 zeros, I think, if I get this correctly. And I am going to run it, and you can see that do you guys notice the thousand comma just to make it readable? Can you guys see that?
Yes, sir.
So just so that I can make this readable, so this is basically 1,417,432,043, depending on the either dollar or naira. Just this is just to make it. Now imagine all the things I did just to make this readable. And I think the round doesn't even matter in this place any longer because the formatting is doing everything for me. So I could just remove this and I will still run it, and it will do the same thing, because the idea of this is to bring it in the thousands, and so it will count every 3 zeros and put a thousand formatting. I guess you guys know what I'm saying. Anybody that doesn't understand what I'm saying? So basically what I just did here is called aggregation. This sum, this is, so I'm using the sum aggregate. I'll say using sum aggregate. So an aggregate, anything that is aggregate is used to like to summarize something basically. Let's say I want to know the number of entries I have, in my database, right? How do I do that? I will use the count aggregate. So I want to know number of entries in my healthcare database. I'll say using the count aggregate. My English is not so, people that did engineering, our English is as it is. So healthcare, and that's called DB. Now I'm going to just use the count aggregate, which is count, and is a function, and I can specify any column or I want, or I can just put the asterisk, and so it's going to pick the most complete number, the most complete row. It will take it will just take them row wise regardless of the column. You can put any column here by calling it, or just put the asterisk, it will work fine. So if I run it, you can see I have about 55,500 rows of data. What I can just do is say put this as a number of entries, number of data entry, just to make it readable. Data entry, run it, it works fine. I can also use the format to just to format it in the thousands, and this format I think also works for I don't know if it works for Postgres, but it works for Microsoft. Sorry, somebody wants to say something?
Yeah, sir, this only counts the number of rows. What about the
Yeah.
number of columns?
Why do you want to count the number of columns?
Okay, I thought maybe there's a function if
No, I
that one
think
is
there's a
needed.
need, but it's not something that why would you want to do that? I'm just curious.
Oh.
I'm curious. I think there should be, but why do you want to count the number of columns? To do what with it?
Okay.
You don't mind me. Don't mind me, please. Don't mind me. I think there should be, but I don't really know. Unless I ask Google. Let me see. Count number of columns. I've never had a reason to count the number of columns. Inverse by sequence.
Because why I asked is that one, when you said select count asterisk, which means okay, this is saying count the okay, yeah, the entries, which means each that's like I would interpret it like each cell in the entry. But if I'm talking about each cell, now that means each column has a cell. So which means I'm wrong in that part. So I was thinking of maybe there's going to be a command that actually says it is counting the rows, thereby
No,
differentiating
you
between
already know. You already know. By the time you use count this, you already know. But for the count column, I think is a select count. See the same select count since you like problem from you do I think information dot underscore schema dot columns I think then you see where table schema is equal to healthcare yeah healthcare and uh, table name sorry is what's my table name healthcare db healthcare underscore db yeah I think this is it. So we have 15 columns, but I don't see how this is relevant to the whole conversation.
okay.
So this is having to use the built-in. I really don't see the use of the. You can then see as number of columns, number of columns, but nobody is going to ask you for this really. So it's one of the reasons why I don't think. Yeah, so a number of columns. If you want to confirm that, we can actually you can uncomment this and run this syntax. Okay. Oh, sorry about this. This is not it. This is it. We can actually do this, and we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we are right. Does that make sense? So yeah, so this is count number of columns, number of columns on the healthcare database DB table. Again, so but this is not the goal of the conversation. The goal is the aggregate count. Let's say we want to know the average billing. So we want to know average billing. I would send us a link very soon. This it's average billing amount, right? What I can do is to say count select. I'll say from. The reason why I like to do this is so that I can. In fact, I think I should do this. Here underscore DD. End it with this. Then I would say billing amount. Sometimes so that's the reason why I like to do this because I'll be able to it's going to bring like a pop-up and I'll be able to select from it. Now, if I want to check the average billing, all I just need to do is to use the aggregate function average in AVG, and so I'll just say average billing as average billing amount. So basically, if you are using SQL, you need to be able to picture what you intend to get from everything. So I have a whole lot of numbers. I'll just do the format, which will make it readable for me. I would use the notation n0 and I'll paste it like this and so you can see I actually paste my function the average aggregate function average inside my format and you can see I have about 25,539. So the same thing if I want to see the maximum amount, the highest amount or maximum amount, I think. Highest billing amount. Um, so I'll say select. Again, I'm too lazy. I'll just copy this. I told you one of the reasons why I like data analytics, right? It's because I'm lazy. Who here thinks that is correct in their case?
That one is not correct too.
I'm serious. I don't like to do things two times. So if I want to use highest, it is max, and if I run it, I have 52,000. Then I think if I also want to do the minimum amount or lowest billing, sorry, lowest billing amount is mean. I'll just change this to mean. Also, one of the things I should mention is the syntax. So, the minimum billing is lowest is negative. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting, and I wonder why. The day is to bill somebody negative value. It means that the hospital was the one that was
I
going.
can't see your presentation again.
Sorry,
I can't see the presentation actually again.
who cannot see the presentation again, please, other than Mr. Kelechi? Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Mr.
Oh, okay.
Kelechi, I think is your network. You can go out and come back in, I think. So,
Yeah.
um, so you
I'm
can
sorry to go back.
no
Sorry, sir.
problem, no problem, no problem.
I'm sorry if I'm going back, but this end number beside the billing amount is confusing me.
Which no, it's NO. So it's you mean this particular?
This no, yeah, NO.
No, it's not NO. It's N0. So it's a formatting. So the format. I think you should read about formatting. If you have actually formatting, you are formatting based on certain things. So if I want to format based on date, I could say I just want the year alone and things like that. So but for putting things in the thousands, so something like this, let me show you. Let me see. Let me see if I have any. What do I have? What do I have? No, I'm not opening this. Okay, let me open this. So I have yeah, for the purpose of this conversation, I have this. If I want to put this in the thousands, I'll just right click, go to number format and go to number. And you can see this use thousand separator, right? If I do this and I do this, I then have something like that. And this is like the thousand separator. Basically, the format, that particular format is the thousand separator, where you have the 3000 and you have your comma after every 3 digits. Does that make sense? So this is how you format the thousands in SQL. You just put the format, then the notation is N0, not NO. This is O, this is 0. This is O, 0 is O with a slash. So yeah, but you can read about it, please. I don't think this should be a cause for confusion. Any other thing? I'm sending out a meeting link.
No, sir. It's okay. Okay.
I'm sending out a meeting. If it's not okay, please, so you can protest, or you're allowed to protest. I'm sending out a new meeting link because this is about to go expire very soon. In case I think we can just end the call then join the other one.
Okay.
Hmm. Hi, how are you?
I'm
Tinwadi.
fine. I'm fine.
Did
Thank
you
you.
join the session?
Yes, I was using another account and I noticed that you always struggle to call my name with that account. So I had to like switch to another account.
Which is your name again?
Tino Ade. Like I
Oh,
told
you
you,
know
people always yeah,
sorry,
people always
please.
struggle to call the other name, probably because you're not Yoruba.
Yes, probably because I am not Yoruba.
And just call me Tino for short. Yeah.
Okay, I hope.
And thank you for the class. It has been interesting and engaging.
I hope so.
It is.
Okay, I hope so. Welcome back, Cecilia. Are we complete? We still have some other. Maybe we should just give like a minute. I think. So sorry. I made a
Confidence,
promise.
confidence.
Sorry.
Confidence was here before. Confidence.
Yeah, she. I think she will also join soon. Um. The in the beginning, I said we were going to use Teams. Many apologies. I found out that they have, for some reason, taken some of my rights to use of Teams, and maybe by next week I should get it back. I don't know yet. Teams will be better because I have an organization account. I could use it for a longer period of time without having to um you know create new links. Any questions so far? Who has a question to ask? Ask questions, so because me, if I start asking my own, it used to come very big and plenty. So better ask questions now. Lancelot, you're laughing. Me, I know how to ask questions very well. Oh. But if I ask you a question, it will look like as if I'm wicked. I'm telling you. You think I'm wicked, like as if I have you in I have you in mind. Like ask your question.
I like. It's actually good. It's actually good.
You're laughing. You think your village people sent me as their representative. Anyways, so unfortunately, I didn't stop pause the recording, so I guess everybody is going to see that part. So, yeah. So we've done basically the count, sum, average, minimum, maximum. Now, how then do we then make it more interesting? Let me see the kind of questions I can ask here. Sorry, this is besides the goal, and because the reason why I want to cheat this before I continue is I want to just show us stuff. So in terms of Hmm. In terms of insurance provider, again, people have different insurance provider, but at some point in time, people will be using the same insurance provider, right? So maybe for this hospital, they have aha. Think maybe it's because a hospital they will have insurance guys that are registered to the hospital, right? So excuse me. Oh, why did I do this? Okay, so we want to know um let me see, how many times has an insurance provider been used. So for every provider, for every so number of times patients use an insurance provider, which is the question. This is just coming off the top of my head. It's not like I saw this thing anywhere. And that's because I'm trying to get something. So I'll do select. I'll see from healthcare, healthcare underscore db. Let me do the semicolon. Then I'll see insurance provider, insurance underscore provider. This is my target. So now I want to do a count of the number of times. So anytime you see here number of times, they say what it means is that you should do a count. Especially if they are saying number of times that has you are dealing with a column that is not number. It's text. So they're asking you to do a count. So basically what I'm going to the aggregate I'm going to do is a count. So I do a count. As number of times, number of times, or just say yeah. So when I do this, I'm only going to get the same value I got to count the number of total rows of my data entry. How then do I do it? So I want to do a count by insurance provider. What I'm going to do is also to mention the insurance provider column. Then I will then do a count by the insurance provider again, right? Now, after my from, there is a syntax called group by. And what this group by does is basically it is going to group it by whatever it is I want to do here. So I'm going to group it by the same insurance provider column. Insurance provider column. If I don't do that, I will show you what is going to happen. So by the time I run it, you can see now I have so it means that for 55,500 rows is only 5 insurance companies that are available that are registered in that hospital. Is that not? And out of it, we have patients there are patients that belong to this is US, so I saw Medicare, so this is US. There are patients that are using one insurance provider or the other, right? So if I don't use this group by, I'm going to get some kind of error, which is not a good thing. And you see the error. So the error here, I'm going to get an error. So you guys can see the error here. I don't know if you can read it, but I'm going to read it. The error code is saying that in aggregated queries without group by, expression #1 of select list contains non-aggregate column, the insurance underscore provider. So look at what it's saying. It's saying that this is an aggregate column. This is not an aggregate column. It's an aggregate column because I use the aggregate function. So if I'm using an aggregate function, it's going to remember that if I do this count, it's going to give me a column, right? But with one row of data. Is that not? It's going to be a column with one row of data. So I cannot use an aggregate function that will provide one row of data with a normal column without using the group by function. Does that make sense? That is what SQL is saying. So it's not allowed for me to do this. So I have to use the group by function for it to work. And so it's going to group by every unique insurance provider I have here. Does that make sense? Cool. I can also add to it billing. So I can say, do a sum for me of the billing amount. Let's know, I don't know, of total billing amount. By, let's assume that the insurance provider is the one that is paying for everything. You can see that I have the billing amount here. Because this is looking crazy, I'm just going to use the format so that it looks more. I actually learned to use this format only last week. Before then, I was struggling with formatting.
Just
That's
last week.
Yeah, that was last week. Yeah. Are you surprised? Asking the question. Okay, Tino Ade, she said I should say I should call her Tino. You raised your hand, or that was a mistake.
So the mistake.
Oh, it was supposed to be an emoji.
Yes.
What emoji were you going to use there? As I'm curious.
Alright.
Oh, okay. So I learned how to use it. It's not like I said. You get to learn new things. Yeah. So let it not shock you like that. Even me, I learned. Okay. So you can then see also what I want to do. What I can then do is some couple of crazy things. But the goal of this exercise is to teach us aggregation. Does that make sense? And if you are using, if I go back, let me see what I can do again. Let me see in this data. I'm just trying to come up with questions I think I can do. Like this. What can I do? Oh, there's hospitals. Interesting. You can actually check the doctors that per patient. You can check the different medical conditions. Oh, so we can actually check the proportion of male to female, right? And even their diseases. You can actually do that. Depending on what you want to do. But if I want to do that, I'll just say select. I want to check the proportion of male to female patients. So I'll say select. I'll just say gender. Then I'll say count gender. You can say count asterisks too if you want to, but in case I use count asterisks in case the gender, if I have missing values, just so I can check as total. I'll say a gender proportion or something. Proportion from the healthcare. I just remembered I wanted to say something. Then I'll say group by. Remember, you need the group by because you're group by the gender. Okay, I can do order by. Order by gender proportion. The alias, I think the gender proportion works. but I'm curious. I've forgotten if it works. So I'm going to do it in descending order just to have the highest number by the whatever gender in the beginning. So I have the male. Male have the highest patient rate, which is about 27,000. Again, you can put the formatting if you want, or you could leave it like that. You can read this. So, and female is about um, a proportion of sorry, please. I'm just trying to get my thought. And so it's about let's see, I think around 40 something of, yeah, 40 something. So I can actually do a math to check this. I can actually do some kind of mathematics to check this. I can do a math to actually check this. So if I do order by this and do limit, something made me limit to 1, it's going to give me the highest number. It's going to give me the highest number, and it will just bring, so it's going to bring male as the response, right? I could do this, copy, paste, and I'll remove the descending. It by default is ascending, but yeah. So if I do this, it's going to show me female. Guess how I'm going to do, like, to know the difference? Who can tell me how I'm going to know the difference between male and female? Difference is the minus sign, subtraction. By how much number? How do I do the difference between the two of them? Who can tell me?
I think you should probably create a new column that would handle that difference.
Ah, okay. It's English. It's very easy to speak English. Basically, so you've already done something, right? You've made your life very easy. So basically, it's just like this. I'm putting two queries together. I'm just minusing it. I think. Okay, so no, I think. Oh, I've forgotten how I did it. Oh. Hey, God help me. I remember doing this thing one time. I've actually forgotten how I did it. This is weird. It is supposed to give me something, but oh, yeah. So I'm supposed to use select. I'm supposed to use select because it needs to be a column. And so when I do this, it's going to show some odd number of rubbish. That's because um, I'm supposed to also use an alias. So I think I should encapsulate this. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, as gender difference. So I'm supposed to use gender difference. Here, let me do this again. It's saying operand should contain one column. Mhm. Oh, interesting. Yep. Okay, so I'll do this instead. One column. Yeah, I think I get that. So yeah, I'll do this. Yep, and so I have the difference of 48. Um, so basically I could just do um um I will just remove the column there. So we just I'll just have this as one, this as the other, and I'll just do a minus sign. But you really don't need to bother about this. This is just some complex stuff. but you can go through it if you want. But the goal of the whole of using this is the aggregation. So I think I'll stick back to that. So now going back to our um, RMS database, result management system. Again, this result management system acronym. I'm going to run this our where's our aggregate that we did? Okay, yeah. So here, this is what we did. The join, right? So we want to find out the average score. What I can do is this average here. I'm just going to remove here like this. I'm supposed to do a group by, but in this case, I'm not going to do that because it's terrible. I'll just do divide by 10. Why am I dividing by 10? I'll put a comma sign here because it's a new column. I'm dividing it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 courses. So it's going to give me average, right? For the min max, I think there is highest as a function of its own. No, is it least? Forgotten the. Is it least? Can you remind me? Is it highest? No, it's not highest. Forgotten it. Not highest. I know there is a list. There's also there's list. Yeah, there's list and there's what is the other one? The other one for most. Is it most? Hmm. Someone should remind me, please. Oh, so there's greatest. These are other greatest. So the greatest among these, so is the highest score, lowest score, and I'm going to remove this as lowest score, and yeah, I'm going to run it again, and so I will get a whole lot of.
But instead of using the greatest and least, why not use maximum and minimum?
Yeah, the reason is because an aggregate function, I still have to use a group by something. It's not going to be fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's saying that operand should be contain one. What am I doing? Operand should contain one column. Is there a thing that I'm doing? Okay, sorry. Let me do this. Let me comment on this, remove this, and see what the issue is. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, okay. So you are the problem. Hey, let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to troubleshoot what the issue is and why it's giving me headache. Oh, oh. So I made a mistake here. This is divide by 10, right? So I'm supposed to say plus. I don't know why it isn't. I'm supposed to plus all of this stuff. Yeah. I think this is what I don't know should be, but just give me.
Do you want to copy the first line? So just copy and paste
I've already started the wala. Let me complete
it.
it. It's when I was close to the end of the wala. That's when you remember to remind.
I just said that answer.
Okay, so sorry about that. Let me run it again. I will do this. Oh, it worked fine. So I have the average, the highest. Then I think I could just uncomment on this. Oh, just yeah. So I think that was the issue. I didn't even know why I did not see that. It's weird. So you can then see that I have my highest and lowest. Now this average, I really don't like the dot. I'll just format it, right? You can see that our format. What is this thing is behaving? Okay, cool. I'll just cut and type format. I'll do this. paste, and I'll say no, it's not format, it's round. So I'll just say 0. It's rounded down to round the decimal to 0 decimal places. So I'll say round, and yeah, and I'm done. Basically, I'm done. Interesting. Oops. Okay, cool. And yeah, this is the all the wala that we are trying to do since. Oh, so if okay, I see how you can zoom it now. I think if you I think I see.
Yes.
You guys can see it clearly now, right?
Mm.
Oh, I see how you can zoom it now. It's just for me to impressive.
Just
So
click on
basically,
that you just do it everywhere.
yeah, and just
Very good. Okay.
grab. Yeah, so we have everything we need here. Let's see if it still needs this. Basically, we are done. I think if we look at it, we can actually see 75%, 94, 680. That's Emily Johnson. 86%, 94, and 75. So if we check, we would see 680, 86, 94, 75. Basically, we are done. I didn't even think we were going to finish today.
You can export this to Excel,
Yes, now you click on this export here, click on it,
but it won't show
and
the
it,
function. It just appears number.
yeah, so you can change it to a statement, Excel spreadsheet if you want, a CSV file, still fine. I'll save, I'll go to my downloads, um, where is it? Interesting. Did I save this as? I don't know where I saved it again. Let me do it again and let's see where it is going to come out. Oh, it's in compressed. Sorry. Go to downloads, go to compressed. I would see this is a virus. This is a virus. God's name is a virus doing on my PC. Yeah, that is a virus. Oh, so let me export it again and see. Oh, that the name is name, and it still came out. Oh, did I? Oh, I named it as CSV. I think spreadsheet. See, go back. Let me see. Let me see. If I'll
It's
see
just
this.
fine because the time is different.
Oh,
So
it thought that it's coming as a document. Oh, I thought it was a variance first. It's not going to be. Okay, let me open it and see. Oh, it's coming out as an XMS. I think if I open it using right click, let me see. I'll right click, open with Office XMS handler. Let's see what it's going to show. Oh, so you open it as Excel. I thought it was a virus. So you can see it. Then you can decide to format it if you want. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, cool. Let us go to. So basically, we've already implemented this using what we have learned so far. Oh, Mr. Lancelot, ask your questions, please.
Yes, thank you very much. So, just when you were working with that healthcare, the healthcare database, right? I was thinking, does SQL have distinct? Does SQL have distinct as a function? You know,
Yes, it
for
does. It
situations
does.
like where you were, it does. Okay, okay.
So let me
Yeah, I
show
was
you. So
wondering
if I want
because
to
you know when
check,
you were trying to check unique HMOs as in healthcare providers.
yeah, you can actually do that. Because I was doing aggregate, I
I
didn't.
don't know we could have used select and use distinct to see if
Actually,
maybe
that was exactly I
yes,
thought
maybe
of.
So look at what happened if I use distinct. It will only give me the number of HMOs. It is not going to. It's only going to give me the distinct HMOs. It's not going to really do anything that really matters. The reason is because
mm,
oh, where did I hide my? Oh, interesting. Oh, it didn't show that. I'm not using sorry, let me do this. It's not the current database, so that is why it is giving me headache. Yeah. So it's just going to show me the number of unique um insurance provider. But I was trying to get the number of insurance provider, the number of
Why
time.
can't we use distinct counts? Like
Distinct
select
count is
distinct.
only going to guess what is distinct, you said count like this. Is that what you said?
Yes.
You shocked the response you to get.
Count, only
Okay.
counting.
So if you say count distinct, guess what's going to happen? Who can tell me what's going to happen? Nobody should guess.
I'm thinking it will
No,
show a
go
lot
cancel.
of 1 1 1 1 1 1, right?
Oh,
Um, for whoever wants MTN data, I will promise you 5 gig if you guess the number that is going.
000.
No, seriously, think about it. You already saw what distinct gave me. It gave me how many this thing. If I now do a count of distinct, how many numbers do you think I'm going to get? I'll say the closest. Or do I run it for you again and you see?
Yes, yes, run it again. Let's see.
Somebody want 5 gig. Okay, let me run it for you. So I did a distinct, right? This is what I got, right? And now did a count distinct. Who can tell me what I'm going to get? The number. I
Count.
promise any of you guys that get it closest, I'll give you 5 gig. Now like this. You just call your number, I'll give you 5 gig now.
Count the distinct value. It's still five. It's still the number of rows now.
How many?
I think it will
I'm
show how many. It will show 5 rows, but it would only
if you
show.
can't
I don't think
find
it will
it,
show the. I don't think it will show the name of the insurance company, but
you
rather
I'm
just
saying
go
the
for
figures. I
which
don't know.
what am I expecting as the result? Lancelot, what are you saying?
I was thinking maybe it would show only values
What
for
value?
each
What
of
value am I
these
expecting?
distinct.
five,
That's
five.
So Cecilia, give me your number.
Oh, I'm coming. Oh.
Oga Lancelot, you are just confusing yourself since you had the right idea. It's going to give me 5, and that's because it is counting only the unique HMOs, which is 5 basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to give me 5. You had the right idea if Cecilia forced you. Give me your number, I'll send your number. You can get your 5 gig. So yes, you can't use distinct because it doesn't really make sense. We wanted to get the number of times
Where you
HMO
number?
have used. So you can give me now if you want. You can send a
Okay,
text
090
090
69
69
08
08
04.
04. You know what? Just send me. Don't call the last number. I just
Okay,
remember I was I was
recording.
recording. Just send it to me
Okay,
via
okay.
some message. This Google message here. This via My English usually used to disappear time to time. You can just send the rest of the number here on this messaging, the Google messaging app here. So, so is the reason why we cannot use the distinct. Okay, cool. It's telling me invalid. Resend the number again. It's telling me invalid MTN number. Ah, anywho, just you send the number for me here. So that I would send it again. So we cannot use it distinct. Make sense for the person that asked. So I wanted to discuss some concepts before we move on. Now you see this my whole table here. This is my whole table, right? If I want to just create a new table instead of having to run okay, Lancelot, you said you're village people, right? It's the number.
She has sent the number.
Yes, I can see it. Interesting. Let me see. Try it again. But please remind me your WhatsApp, or you can give me another 0906 is. Let me not think about it too much. So, anyways, now let's say I am done with what I want to do, right? Which is this table. But look at the amount of code I wrote, and having to run this every time is a headache. I want to create a table, either a temporary table, another table to give me the whole database of the result, or just something that I can use temporarily. I can use what they call temporary table. I can use a view. I can also create a table, a permanent table from this. How do I do that? The first instance is okay, I think I should show you with small data. Let's say I want this to be my table, my new table. I just want to create a table, right? So I could do create table. Remember our creating table, right? I'll give you the table name. I'll say HMOs. HMOs. I'll say I think is I've forgotten as, then I will post my code here, and I think it's as or from. Oh, it worked fine. I was shocked. Interesting. So if I go to my table, I'll just my healthcare database table. I would refresh. I think. Oh, are these in my RMS? Don't tell me that it created it in my RMS. It would be weird if it did that. 5 rows affected. No duplicate. Okay. Sorry, please. I'm trying to see where it went. Look at it. HMOs here. Oh, unfortunately, it created it in the wrong place. The reason why is because I'm using this. Because you can see the reason why you should use the right database. So I'm going to delete it. I'll drop the table. So I would use the healthcare database, right? Run it. It works. I'll do the create table, and if I go to my healthcare database and refresh, I can see my HMOs. Now what I can then do is to say select all from HMOs and run it, and you can then see that I have my table. That is one way, but this way is creating a permanent table, right? The second way is to create a temporary table. So basically, if I want to create a temporary table, I'll say create temporary table. Temporary. How do you spell temporary? Temporary table. I would say HMO. Then I would say as I'll just copy this because I'm lazy and I'm going to run it. So you can see it has worked fine. But if I refresh, I would not see it here, and that's because it's a temporary table. But if I say select Control C, if I say select all the columns from these and I run it, okay, so I have you can see it's already there. That so the first one is HMOS, the second one is HMO. The HMOS is the one that is showing, the HMO doesn't show, and that's because it's called a temporary table. I think a temporary table, if I remember correctly, what, sorry, sorry please, if I remember correctly what a temporary table is, a temporary table, you sorry, hold on, let me get my thoughts correctly. It's a temporary table self, sorry. Can't remember again. No, is it that I'm getting older? It's been a while. Oh, sorry about that. Let me browse Google what a temporary table is. Okay, so what a temporary table does, it will create a table for you, but you can only use it for this session. By the time I go out, I log off and come back, it has already disappeared. So you can actually create a temporary table for a particular session. Anytime I go off and log on back, it's going to disappear basically. And so how do I do that? Let me just go off and come back. Please let me know when this is becoming boring, so that I would respect myself and just kindly tell you guys goodbye. Okay, so yep, if I say use healthcare, run it, and I don't go and do my select, sorry, let me zoom this so that you guys can see back, and I run this, you can see it's going to show me some kind of error that this HMO table doesn't exist, and that's because it's a session based let me take it up very well so you guys can see. It's a session based activity, so unless I have to go and do the create table again, that is another way I could convert this my result here, this result here, this result to a table, whatever result I got from here to a table. The third way is to create a view. How do I create a view? I will say create, I will say view, I would now name the name of my view, I would say HMO underscore view as, I would say, and I'll copy the, what am I creating as, this particular query that I wrote, and then I'm going to run it. It works fine. Now, how do I check my view? If I refresh, I'm not getting anything on my table, and that's because I didn't create a table. But if I come to view here, under this so we have under the healthcare database, there's a view. If I come there, you can see that I created the HMO view here. You guys can see that, right? So anytime I then go to say select, if I run this view table query, I'll say select HMO view, I can then see my insurance table. Good. Now coming back to this very long query that we wrote here, we want to convert this query to a table of its own, so we don't have to be viewing everything. So you can use any of these three methods. So what I'm just going to do is to come here, copy everything, all this long query that I wrote, Control C. I would come to this place. I would say, let's create a view. Create view. View is not temporary, so I would say create view. Now you can see this time around I'm using small letter, and that's because SQL doesn't really care. But for best practice, that's why we use this thing, capital letter for syntaxes. So I'll say RMS underscore view. I'll say RMS. I'll say student results, maybe student result database results. Then I'll say DB, then maybe view, because a view. I'll say as, and I'm going to paste my what I want to do it as. Say the query I wanted to create as a view as. I'll run it. It's working fine. If I then refresh, I'll go to my RMS DB. Under the view, you can see that I've created my student result DB view. And then all I just need to do is to say select everything from this thing. Okay, it went back. Sorry. Let me increase. So I'll say student results DB underscore view, end it with a semicolon, run it, and I can then say I have my data here. Then you can use this to do whatever it is you want to do. Any questions? Any questions? Because we are done with this particular mini project, we'll be moving on to a different project. Hello, any questions?
None from me.
Should I teach you one more? I think I shouldn't. I think we should stop here. We've done a lot, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to
Yeah,
stop here.
that's we'll just me especially. I will need time to master this long line of. But it's actually good. I did been it was like maybe Python now where you can just create a script, and make things easy. But this table stuff that you just explained now, it's also very very useful, I believe,
The
because you can
other
actually just call it anytime. Yeah.
okay, so let me show you something. Let's say I don't want to have to be doing this every time. This one, man, I'm even tired of doing it every time. This table or this view I created, I can create what they call a procedure, a stored procedure that will help me do this. How do I do that? I would say, if I remember correctly, let me see. Um, Create procedure. If I remember correctly, is create procedure, create procedure. I would say I'll give it a procedure name. I would say um view table. I would say I think I should not do this, but I'm curious. Begin, and I'll enter my what I want to create a procedure for. Then I'll say end. Now, this doesn't work because I'm going to start my creating procedure, unfortunately, for this thing, for um my Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft, I keep going to Microsoft, my SQL Server. This is how we actually create a procedure. Unfortunately, end it with this, then I'll enter my SQL code. Now I'm going to paste this here. This is what I want to create, my delimiter, basically this table. I think I'm supposed to say as. Um, oh, this is view table. So it's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be a parameter or a method. I'm going to run everything. Everything works fine, right? I will just refresh my schema. Under stored procedure, here you can see view table. Now, anytime I want to run this table, I'll just say use. I'll say view underscore table. Uh, is it view? Oh, sorry, it's call. Sorry, it's call. I will say call this particular stored procedure, and if I do that, it will give me the same thing. Can you see, instead of having to create a view and say select all, I just wrote one small line of code and it gave me what I want. Anywho, we will talk about stored procedures in the next session, how we will use it to do a whole lot of crazy things. We'll also talk about I think stored procedures, we'll talk about triggers, those are like advanced stuff. What will we even talk about again? Then I think after that we'll be solving problems basically, and we might. This is so early. I was thinking we would take some time. Maybe we might be done in like 2, maybe 4 sessions with some of the problems we'll solve. I'll also. That reminds me. I think I'm going to send some kind of scenarios. Don't know if we'll deal with scenarios. I know triggers. There's another one in Microsoft SQL Server. There is also what's the name of this stuff? It's like queuing, this queue function. I've forgotten the name. Can remind me. Maybe we'll deal with scenarios as well. There's forgotten the name of this procedure. Whoosh. I forgot, Anywho, we'll talk about stored procedures, triggers, and Cecilia set scenarios. I'll take a look at use case. In between now and next week, I'm going to send you a Google form to test run your SQL skills based on what we've done so far. It's an exam. You get access to the data, you load your data to your database, and so on and so forth. Just so you guys can test your skills, and it's going to score you on its own. So you see your score if you've not, according to Cecilia, use what we've done to eat beans. Anywho, if there are no questions, I think I should let you guys go now. If you allow me, I'm not going to stop this session anytime soon, but I don't want it to become boring as well.